Healing people worldwide, internationally, providing information that will set your mind free. Occupying time, fostering diversity, creating communities, bringing joy and unity. Healing people worldwide.
Welcome to Holistic Professionals of Color podcast, the space where healing, culture, and community come together. We spotlight holistic professionals of color who are transforming lives through wellness, wisdom, and purpose. From powerful stories to practical tools and inspiring conversations, this is where our voices, gifts, and businesses shine. Tune in, grow with us, and be reminded that healing ourselves helps heal our communities. Welcome to Holistic Professionals of Color Media Podcast. Today we are speaking with Brandei
Penwrite.
Okay, hi Brandei. Thank you for coming in today and meeting with us.
Hi, Natasha. It's good to meet you. Thank you for having me, inviting me.
Yes, tell me the name of your business again.
Second to None Life.
Second to None Life. And what does that mean?
It means that you are not second to none. You are to take care of yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to make sure that you're well. We have a second chance. When we wake up every morning, we have another chance to live and to be better than we were the day before.
Exactly. I like that.
Yes.
So what do you do through Second to None Life?
Well, basically, I'm a life transition coach, and I basically work with individuals to help them to find their God-given talent, because we all have something that we bring to the table. And I, talk with them, ask certain questions. What do you like? What don't you like? What is your work environment that you prefer? What are your hours? And we do testing, and we find out what your God-given talent is. And then once we do, then we look into different areas of professional growth that you can do. Can you be a business owner? Can you work in retail, or whatever your talent brings.
Right.
Yeah, so I just kind of help people find their uniqueness, their values, and then we go from there.
Okay. How did you get started on that?
Well, it's kind of a different kind of story. I had a sister. I'm the oldest of 9. So I'm the oldest girl.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not the oldest, but the oldest girl. So of my mom and dad. So my mom and dad had sons before they got married and had me.
Okay.
So, and then I was a daddy's girl. So I just love my dad and everything. And so this blended family of 9 was, brothers, sisters, stepsisters, half brothers, and all that kind of stuff. But we call ourselves family. We don't do 100%. That step.
Exactly.
Because we are family because of our parents that came together and made us a big family.
Made you one.
Yes. So we used to have fun as young kids. My dad would get all of us together, and we would get in his van and ride to Milwaukee. I remember we went to Milwaukee to see my aunt, and she was one of my favorite aunts. She had a star on her tooth, a gold star.
Okay.
And so, to make a long story short, we would take these trips and everything, and then after things happened, I moved and they moved, different siblings just kind of, went our separate ways.
Right.
Stayed connected by heart, but just went our separate ways. And then, life happens, and we lost our dad, and then things kind of fell apart.
Okay.
Not because we didn't love each other, but because we didn't understand each other, and we didn't really live the same lifestyles. And so that kind of caused a little separation. But to make a long story short, my baby sister, she called me. She had moved to California. This is after my dad had passed, and we hadn't really talked since the funeral. And so she's so excited. She just bought a house and she's invited me to come, and she's in California and I'm here. I'm like, girl, you wait till October to tell me about your birthday in December. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I really want to be there. But I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call you and I'm going to be there with you, although I'm on the phone.
Right.
So we had this plan, and so she had chefs and bartenders, and it was just gonna be a really nice party. And she's like, well, you could sleep downstairs, and I'm like, girl, I really want to be there. So we're talking and songs are playing and we're singing and we're laughing and we're talking about different things that had happened, and she just got really quiet. And I could hear people, because, the bartender's there, the chef is there. I could hear people laughing and stuff, but I didn't hear her. And I'm like, well, maybe she's distracted. I'm like, Carolyn. And she would say, yeah, I'm here. And I'm like, are you sleepy? You want to go take a nap? And she's like, long pause. Oh, I'm here. I'm like, girl, are you okay? And she wasn't saying anything. And I said, well, I had sent her a gift because I like different beads, holistic beads. And I had picked out a purple one. I don't know how you say it. Amnestum stone bracelet. And I had mailed it to her on her birthday. I didn't order it until her birthday. So it was going to get there the day before the party. So I'm like, well, call me when you get the gift. And I love you. And I hung up the phone because she's just not saying nothing.
Yeah.
And about 5 hours later, my favorite aunt, I have everybody's a favorite in my family, but my aunt, she called me and she's like, did you talk to your sister today? And I said, yeah, she was acting really strange at the end. And she said, well, I'm going to call you back. I really don't want to believe, but I'm going to call you back. So I called my other aunt and I'm like, have you talked to my sister? And she's like, no, I ain't talked to her today. So then my aunt calls back and she's like, she's gone. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
No. Oh, I just could not believe it. Because we had just reconnected and everything was good and she knew a gift was on the way and all. And I really lost my mind. I just could not believe it. And I found out I was the last person on the phone with her. And it made me look at my family in a different way. I'm like, you know what? We might be different, but you know what? Our roots, the family tree starts from the root. So all of our ancestors, they prayed over us and they taught us all these different things about life and how to deal with different situations and medications the natural way. And I'm like, that is the beginning. And then we grow, the tree, has a, what do you call it? A stem.
Yes.
And then branches come off of that.
Yeah.
So we all go in our different directions, but we're still connected from the root.
Tree. Yes.
And so I was like, I want to make sure that my family and everybody that knows me know that I love them. We might not talk all the time. We might not see each other all the time, but you're in my heart.
Yes.
You're in my
that's
heart.
Important.
And it's like, yeah, you might like a different thing than me, but that's what makes you you.
Exactly.
And my thing that I like makes me me. So when we come together, we can make something beautiful with all these different gifts that we bring to the table.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be an immediate family. It could be your network. It could be your tribe. You know, I have sisters that they're from another mother. They're not from my mother, but I love them like sisters. And I have brothers that I feel the same way about. They know if they need me, all they got to do is call, and I'm either by phone or I'm trying to get to them. So it just kind of touched me that I lost my sister and we had just connected, and I just wanted to spread universal healing to the world, to, you know, my neighbors, my friends, my colleagues, my business partners, my church members. You know, we're all, you know, energy. So when we come together, you know, Miss Natasha, it's beautiful.
Yes, most definitely. And how do you spread that universal love to all of those entities?
Well, I don't really do a lot of social media, but every morning I wake up, I pray, and whoever God put on my heart, I send them an inspirational message.
Okay.
You know, and to me, that's my way of touching someone. You know, the song says, reach out and touch somebody's hand. And just sometimes when I think of my friends and my loved ones, that's my way of touching them and hugging them.
Yes.
I always in my messages, because I can't call everybody. I would never get nothing done. So I text and I say hugs and love, you know.
Yes.
Because I'm spreading, you know, positive. I don't know what they're dealing with. I don't know what kind of day they're having. But when I think of them, I'm spreading light.
Yes.
I'm passing on, you know, positive vibes and letting you know that you matter, you know, regardless of what's going on. You can make it. You can make it. It might be a tough season, might be a tough minute.
Right.
But we gonna get past this, because everything don't last forever.
That's right.
So
how did you incorporate that into a business?
Well, I just started writing, and this is where my name Brandei Penwrite came from. When I lost my sister, I started mental health counseling, and I just did not realize how much of a people pleaser I was. You know, being the oldest daughter, eldest daughter syndrome, we have that. We know how to take care of everybody and make sure everything is taken, you know, in its right place, that everybody's feeling good, that everybody has what they need. But you know what? I'm like, wow, I don't really take care of myself like that. And it was a rude awakening. But I was a workaholic. I was always giving and doing, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. What about me? So my writing was like, it was like therapeutic.
Yes.
I just poured my soul into writing, and I just started writing books about family communication, about sisters and brothers and moms and dads. Like a mother and a daughter, they have a bond that's different than a father and a son, and a sister and a brother. So I talk about all the different titles that we have and what we bring to the family unit, and then what we bring as an individual, and then like marriages, you know, and babies and all kind of things that make the family larger. That basically makes us more connected.
Yes.
So the journey was not planned. Nobody would have ever told me I would write a book. But I was like,
it always ends up like that.
Yes, I was like, the Lord just led me, and it was more or less right. It was 2020 when COVID happened.
Okay.
And something's like, get Reiki certified. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Something was just on me to get Reiki certified. And I'm like, okay. And I did it right before COVID.
Okay.
And so when we were locked in, I was writing and I was reaching out by phone. I'm like, I'm not saying hi on Facebook. I want to hear your voice. I want to know that you're good. And it just kind of started snowballing into that. And I just continue that every day. I want to hear from my loved ones.
Do you incorporate Reiki healing in your practice?
I don't do the symbols that, Reiki represents, but if I feel I'm in an environment that needs healing, I'll rub my hands together and say a prayer and, know. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that's not something that you practice often.
I mean, I do, but it's not a part of my lifestyle.
Okay.
But it is something that introduced me to, different, chakras in our body, and maybe pain could be coming from a situation that hasn't been a trauma that hasn't been processed properly,
right,
or a memory or something like that. So I make body butter, and I started that with COVID, because girl, when I would put on my lotion, my favorite lotion, I'm looking down at my legs and I'm like, ooh, I look like I'm an alligator been crawling in some flour. Why am I still looking like this? I know I lotion myself. So while everybody was at home, thinking of different businesses and things to make, I started making body butter. And that was kind of my way of, starting the healing path.
Okay. And what ingredients did you use in your body butter?
Everything's organic, and of course there's cocoa butter and shea butter and coconut oil, and then some of my special ingredients. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So have you authored any books?
I have a book that my first book that I wrote was Female Family Conflicts Resolutions to Communicate. Now, I know that's long, but that was my first book. And it was kind of, because of me and my sister and how the time had passed, I wanted to do, it's more like a self-help study guide that talks about, again, the different, mother, daughter and all that, and then communication strategies and role plays. But it wasn't my best, because I basically did that under duress, honestly. And then I wrote a memoir, which is it's Unconstrained Revelations, Empowered Overcomer.
Wow.
And that one it's about my life, growing up and, being the oldest daughter and all. And then some of the things that I went through in life, working and, home life and social life, and some of the things that my granddad told me about that I really didn't understand. But
you put it all in a book.
Yes, I'm like, that's what Daddy Petey meant when he said that. So I dedicated my book to my grandparents, my dad, my granddad on my mom's side, and then my grandmother on my dad's side.
Okay.
Because a lot of things in me are about them. It came from their wisdom, their,
teaching.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we need to look back at our elders for that wisdom. Because Mama would tell me things, my grandparents, my dad would tell me things, and I'm like, well, you're going to be able to count your friends on one hand. And I would say, yeah, but you're not very outgoing, Mom. I'm outgoing. I want to have a lot of friends. I'm Miss Popular, And now that I think about what she told me, She's right. You know, because it's more about the quantity, not
Then the
how
quality.
many.
Exactly. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
So would you consider yourself more of a life coach?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I don't prescribe medicine or anything. I don't give not diagnosis, but I help you find your God-given talent, and then I also help to empower you with your valued uniqueness, whatever it is about you that nobody else has, nobody else can do. I mean, you'll do it in your sleep. You'll do it without any pay. That's a God-given gift.
Yes.
So that's what you really should be doing. Although corporate America says, oh, work for us, we're going to give you this, we're going to pay for pensions. By the time you get old enough to get that, they've changed their mind. They don't offer it anymore. Oh my goodness. And like loyalty in these jobs, I do love corporate America. I learned a lot working in corporate America, but I'm like, we should be working for ourselves.
Always. Most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely. So where can we find your books?
Well, you can find me on Amazon. It's When Unity, Connections, and Emotional Intelligence by Brandei Penwrite. And I'm in the process of getting more platforms, so you can definitely look me up on Amazon. But if you can't find me there, then you can reach me at Instagram at none second two, NONE, the number 2, and then in second two, none, or none second two, I'm sorry. And then it's Be Real.
All right. So you have your books on Amazon.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yes. And you can get the book in ebook, paperback, or hard copy. Both books. The Female Family Conflict, Female Family Conflict Resolutions. That's my first one. You can get that in paperback or ebook, and you can get the Unconstrained Revelations Empowered Overcomer. You can get that in ebook and paperback.
Awesome. Awesome. This conversation kind of takes me back to just ancestral knowledge, ancestral healing. What would you say is the most important piece of wisdom that you've ever received, either spiritually through your ancestors or through your family, your parents or grandparents? What is the most important thing that you've learned, lesson that they've taught you?
You know, my dad used to say nothing beats an understanding. And I think a lot of times we think we understand what a person is feeling or what a person is saying, but if we don't collaborate back and forth, tell me what you meant by that, or can you elaborate more, or oh, I think I understand you to say this, and is this what you mean? Because if we don't give each other that feedback, sometimes things get lost in the crack.
Yes.
And nothing beats an understanding. And sometimes we can say, hey, you know what, let's agree to disagree. But if I leave you understanding and knowing how you feel about something more than I did when we first got sit down and talked, then I feel like the energy is flowing, you know?
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing your story with us about your
Yes.
sister
Thank
and
you.
how that helped to resonate the business that you have started. And
Yes.
congratulations to authoring those 2 publications that are now on Amazon.
Thank you so much, Miss Natasha.
Yes, yes. And I hope that you continue to grow in
Thank
your
you.
holistic healing. And don't forget to tap into HPOC University.
Of
That will help
course.
you grow in terms of the things that you're trying to do and want to do with your business. We have a university that offers a
Yes.
lot of different certified courses,
Yes.
and we are accredited.
Yes.
Okay, so I welcome you and invite you to go deeper.
Yes,
Go
thank
deeper
you.
in your ancestral knowledge.
Thank you for saying that. I really do. I'm so glad I connected with HPOC. I didn't know about you guys, and I have looked into the university. I have thought about, maybe I should try to get, more certifications or even a PhD. I have a PhD in life. I might as well have a
Yes,
PhD.
we do, don't we?
Yes. We learn, we grow, and we
Yes.
keep on moving. We keep just, being great. So I just want everyone to know that you can be your best self by growing and learning.
Yes.
And sometimes change is important. We can't do everything the same way all our life. We have to change if we want to see a difference.
Reinvent yourself.
Yes.
Reinvent yourself.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much. It was great meeting you, and I really do hope to hear from you guys, and I plan to connect with the
Yes.
university.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Holistic Professionals of Color Media Podcast. Until next time, Ashe.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Holistic Professionals of Color podcast, where our voices matter, our healing is sacred, and our businesses deserve to thrive. Be sure to subscribe, share this episode, and support the holistic professionals creating change in our communities. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, and keep shining.